Hi, this is Tina Hamilton, and I have a very special guest here today, Brad Balentine with TriPoint Electric. Thank you for coming and joining us today, Brad.
Thank you for having me, Tina.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you. So,
Likewise.
Brad's been a member of VO for,
I just looked it up, and it's
uh,
almost 5 years to the day.
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
happy anniversary.
Thank you.
5 years is a long time.
Yeah, it flew by.
And your business is how long have you had your business?
This coming July will be 14 years.
14. Wow. Okay, 14 years. So tell us, let's start with just a little bit about how you started this business and,
Sure,
and a little bit about what you do. Hmm.
sure. Right out of high school, I went into the field. I knew college, that side of education really wasn't for me. I knew it was gonna be construction and just
Yeah.
started in electrical, and I think it was after an auto mechanic school, I was like, "This isn't for me." Went to, a local electrical shop and just, like, started there as a greenie, as we call them.
Oh,
And, pretty quickly, like, learned that I liked it. I liked being out in the workforce. I liked that grind. I like the mentality. It did, within construction, it does seem to be like the bad boys of the old school world, so I kinda fit in right away. It's hard work, play hard, party hard,
yeah.
and I did fit in there. And so for the next couple of years, it's just trying to get better and better, finding some mentors in the field, friends, and I just love that. Like with electrical, you literally get to turn stuff on.
Hmm.
You put the wires
Right.
in, the devices in, and you get to put the power, to the house. Next thing you know, you're flipping the breakers on, and all the lights are turned on.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
there's the
awesome.
beauty about it.
Yeah.
And then there's a master, like there's a craft about it, where it's just like everything's lined up right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, honing that craft, you get appreciated, you get some bigger jobs, more responsibilities. And same with the that lifestyle that I was talking about with work hard, party hard, and construction can be pretty tough. And the oh God, what do you call it? The roughnecks.
Yeah.
I was in my young 20s and partying, and that caught up to me and had a pretty big life change at 28. I had to stop
Okay.
that lifestyle. Got in trouble. Just life wasn't going well, and so
Okay.
I actually had to sober up God, in '09.
Okay.
And I was at a turnstile right there, and life had to start over, and moved back in with my parents. I had no girlfriend, no debt, no kids, nothing. And my parents were like, you're a pretty good electrician. Like, why don't you just go start your own business?
Your parents gave you the idea.
Yeah, yeah. They were just like, go do it. And I was like, okay. I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is I was a good electrician. I didn't have any mentors at that time, no money, but they were kind enough to help me out to get a van.
Nice.
But just started knocking on doors, doing,
That's
uh,
what you did. Knocked
yeah.
on doors and
Oh,
getting
yeah, old
vans.
school. Yeah, I would make up flyers at the local print store and just drop them off doing door knockers and leaving flyers out and just hitting up friends and families and people have all these little electrical jobs. And
And everybody needs it, right? It's
yeah,
like that's the beauty of this business.
I love it. The
Yeah.
electrical and plumbing, the MEPs we call it, are not going
Okay.
anywhere. And
Oh,
they have to get done, and a lot of it's very nice, high end. Even the low end stuff, like somebody has to do it, and I love it. It's not
and they're
going
not
anywhere.
equal because I've been through a number of electricians. I've
Yes.
had ones that charge too much because they have a lot of overhead, they're bigger, and then you're paying 3 times as much for the same amount of work. I've had some that were not so good that I had to have the work redone, so
Yep.
they're not equal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, not at all. And
yeah,
we're with the price range. We're like in the middle towards the top. It's a path we chose. We do have a lot of overhead. We pay my guys very well because I came
yeah.
from actually the bottom end where we're doing new construction and just doing it all about speed. And with my company, I did take on that role to where it's like I don't want a company that's it's screw you, get it done. Like nothing's ever good enough, get it done. Like go faster. No, it's like there's an art to this, and
Yeah,
there is customers out there that appreciate the finer electrical work, the people that are going to answer the phone, the communication, showing up,
definitely.
and that's where like we found a really sweet spot with it. And it's not perfect, but we love
Sure.
it for sure.
So, is that what you do, the more mid-level
We'll do
high-end thing?
anything,
Okay, yeah.
but with the overhead, we are a little bit higher price. We're not
Mhm.
some of those. Um, how do I put it without offending people? We're not at the point where we're charging $500 an hour for one guy. We don't
Right,
need to do that. There's
right.
companies out there and bless them. That's just not us. We want to be able to sell to, my aunt and we want to sell to my employee's aunt. So we can't be ripping them off. We want you to
Right.
use us and call us back and then refer us to your neighbors. But we're not the cheapest. We're not going to be chucking the truck. But I learned the hard way, you have to charge right, you have to, and to have that presentation, to have those shirts, the vans, the benefits that are gonna keep your guys, that's a constant battle and to find that happy median. But I know if I charge too less, I'm not gonna stay in business. If I charge too much, I can scale it back and kind of figure out the happy median.
Right, right. So, so then as you started off knocking on doors, then what? Do you start building regular
Yeah,
clients?
that's what somebody would know, a builder. Somebody would,
Oh, okay.
get a basement job, and just little by little, they would just give me the bigger opportunities. And so a guy I used to wrestle with and do jujitsu with, he's like, "Hey, my best friend is a builder on the main line." And
Perfect.
what he's like, "It looks like you're working really hard and you're doing what you got to do. Do you want to talk to him?" And I
Yeah,
was like, "Yeah, great." And this is a high-end mainline dealer. Like this guy does a lot of the Philadelphia athletes' homes and stuff like that. And I
very
took it
nice.
on, and
Yeah,
it was great. I knew the work, I did it.
yeah,
The hard part was the back end office stuff, administration,
okay.
bookkeeping. That was the harder part. Doing the work wasn't hard. It's the other stuff that was hard.
And I think that, I use a lot of contractors. I'm really into home decor, like, in a big way, and I also have an investment property with, several units, and, I've been through a lot of contractors, and then once I find one I love, I hang on for dear life.
Yeah, that's our goal. It's just like we want you to stay with us, and sometimes we'll outgrow each other. That can
Mhm,
happen. Like
sure.
maybe a customer. It's been 14 years, and
Yeah.
for the past over 5, I haven't been in the field. And 12 years ago, they knew me coming to their house and
Oh,
working for
right.
50 or $75 an hour. 'Cause it was
Yeah,
just me in an apartment, or at the my first house. It's like we're so far beyond that. Like I'll go out of business, and so we had to mutually part ways, and it's fine as long as you're honest with them. But yeah, we want to get those customers, whether it's a builder or just, Aunt Sally down the street. We want you to call us back and just be like, Here's where we're going to show up. It might not be today, but we'll be there in 2 days." Like
right.
communication is key,
Oh,
and
everything.
cleanliness. There's so many things: communication, being clean, and just doing what you say.
Right.
If you could do that,
Oh,
you're probably going to have a business.
just
Not guaranteed.
returning phone calls.
The big
Eh,
number one is communication.
so did you end up hiring administrative staff, or what did you do?
Yeah, there's definitely been some bumps in the road,
Sure.
and it's I did do, finding mentors and talking to people. Like they're like, get another phone and make that your business line. And I did that. So I had 2 phones. And so I
Okay.
was able to do work and then answer calls at like lunchtime or after. And once I grew out of that, I would hire another company, that a third party service. You give them the phone number, and then they take the numbers down. And at the end of the day, they would send me an email or a text and like, here's who called. And then I would spend an hour calling everybody back. And so
Okay.
you start to grow that, and then you're starting to get a little bit bigger, and you're like, I need somebody that's going to help me, cash these checks. And so you hire somebody part time for 3 days a week. I can't do it full time, but maybe I can get a homemaker who's come in for 3-day weeks, and that's how
Sure.
we started. Yep.
So you just start building and building and building, and
Yep.
now you have support to help you with these things.
Yeah. Now there's about 7 of us in the office.
Seems like one of the biggest mistakes contractors make is not making that investment into that admin help because they can't keep up. They're busy doing the work, and then they got the guys are not showing up, or girls, whatever,
Correct.
right? Yeah. So
I
yeah.
have so like great friends, phenomenal electricians, better. They're better electricians than me.
Mm,
They're better at their craft. They're better at dealing with the clients. What they don't want to do and won't do is hire other people. They can't stand working with employees. They can't do it. They want to stay one or two guys, and
okay.
that's it. They don't want the headaches.
Yeah.
They're like A-type and rigid, and they're phenomenal electricians. They're going to be great for you
Yeah.
as a client, but they don't want to deal with the kid calling out again, or the part-time homemaker who says, "Hey, my kid's sick, I can't come in." They can't deal with that,
Yeah.
and it's just when it's getting into business, you have to be able to deal with people. You have to be
Right.
there's nobody that's going to deal with the deal with issues the same way you do. What's
That's
Gerber's
right.
book that tells you?
Good to great. No.
No, Gerber.
Oh, Gerber,
Yeah,
E-Myth,
yeah, E-Myth.
E-Myth
You read
Revisited.
it and
Yeah.
you're like, if you're like a
Yeah.
year or two in, if you read it before you get started business,
Yeah.
great idea, But as you're reading it, while you're in the business, you read, you're like, oh my God, that's me. Oh, I'm doing that. What do you mean I can't do
Because
that?
the E-Myth is about working on your business
Not
instead of
in it.
in your business, right? For
Correct.
anybody that hasn't read it before, and it starts out with a story about a technician and a baker, right? Or
Yes. Yeah,
whatever, right?
it's just great. There's a system for it. It's just like, here's what happens. And there's so many other books out there that are like that, which I love. But
Yeah.
man, once you read it and you believe it, it's hard to believe some
Right.
books. There's where it's like maybe it's my brain capacity or my knowledge. I'm just not there with some of these scaling books.
Yeah.
Um, but that one hits right between the
Yeah,
eyes if
because
you're
it's
there.
perfect because like you said, there's so many electricians. The problem with that, it's great. They have a business. They have a lifestyle business, I guess they call it, right? Because then at the end of it, if it's just them, they have nothing to sell. Who's
Yeah.
gonna buy, right? So, and maybe that's okay
Yeah, that's
for
what they
some
want. They're
people, right?
fine. Yeah, they want
Yeah,
nothing to we talk and we catch up. We have great laughs. We're like, I don't know how you do it. And to me, it's like, I don't know how you do it, but it's that's I don't wanna make a negative conversation. I don't. I'm just like, as long as you're happy you're doing what you're doing and you don't have a boss that you're that's the big thing. They don't want to deal with a boss. That was never
right,
really my intention. I just wanted something different for myself.
right.
I had a great upbringing with my parents. They were two company people. My dad retired from Pico. They're very fiscally conservative and they taught me very well. So the entrepreneurship wasn't in the cards per se, but I think the one of the best gifts they taught me was like you can do anything you want. You just got to go do it. And
That's
so it's
right.
like okay, that was
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah,
So, when you joined EO, what did you join for? What did you need when you joined?
great question. So yeah, it's been like 5 years to the day, and it was actually when COVID hit when I was having the onboarding questions with EO and other groups as well, kind of seeing where I fit. And at that time, so that was, that was a year 9 or something at this point. So business was going good, and I was in a previous contractor sales group, which I loved. It changed my life. We did a lot of work towards sales, numbers, like what's your, profit and overhead, your break even point, all that. A lot of personality development doing the Myers Briggs. I learned so much about that. I loved it. I fell
Yeah.
in love with Myers Briggs. I'm like, oh, you're an INFP. Oh, let's talk. I just love that stuff. I
Yeah.
do. I still do it. I annoy people with it. I'm like, that person's an extrovert. I don't know if I want to talk to him right now. But that group, I kind of grew out of it. It was really about these smaller business owners, about 5 to 10 employees, and I was
Okay.
probably right there. But I was like, I need something bigger to see where a group of like scaling up. And I don't even know if I heard the book at that time, but I needed. I was like, this is going good. People like it. I want to get bigger. Who can I go around? I probably started Googling stuff and EO probably popped up and I just started the interview process. And cool, but there was a cool moment where I was doing the onboarding. It looked like it was a match. We're like, hey, I was in EOA first. So I was just a
Oh,
shade
okay.
under a million. And so they're like, you're a candidate for EOA. We have a couple
So
coaches.
EOA, for anybody listening, is to be an EO, you have to be doing 1 million or more in revenues, and EOA is 250, 250
Yeah, 250 to 1 million. We're
to
just
one
under 1
million,
million.
and
Yeah.
then they through that in that program, it's a little less expensive. You get a little less perks, but the biggest perk, I think it's the biggest perk you could possibly get, is they help you grow your business, give you support to get to 1 million, so you can
Yes.
become an EOer,
Yeah, it's
right?
great. It's a great group.
Yeah.
I was actually an EOA coach for a little bit.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and I loved it. It's just capacity right now. It's a little bit tough, but I would love
Yeah,
to
it
get back
is.
into it. I love it because I appreciate it. So it's like I want to reciprocate that.
Yeah, 100%.
When we're doing that onboarding stuff, they're like, "Yeah, we have one coach. It's Kevin Nolan. Like, do you know him?" And I'm like, "He's my neighbor in business, and yes, I know him. He's running this multi-million-dollar painting company. Put me on." And so
Yeah.
I couldn't wait. He became my EOA coach, and my God, Kevin
Wow.
Nolan Painting is like a treasure. And so for business, great, upstanding human being, and
Oh,
and it's advocate for business, good, exercise. He's just a great human being,
yeah.
and he helped me so much, and he just loves it. And so I feel bad. Like I'll call him. He's like, he's happy to help, but he has so much. It's like I want to give him his privacy, but it's just like
Yeah.
there's so much information, but it's also well, I got to do the work too. So I
Yeah.
leave him alone, but sometimes I reach out to him, and he's so happy to do so. But man, that was great. I was
That's
in there about a
wonderful.
year.
So he's really helped you out, and are you still working with him or no?
No, so I did get
Yeah.
into. I graduated out within that year.
Oh,
So
yeah,
so,
right,
yeah,
because 'cause you're not in EOA. I
correct.
see.
And
Yeah.
got into EO soon after that. But he's been around with the events, and it's again
Yeah.
where I can walk to his office and likewise. And he's helped me out with sales training
Oh,
and
you're in the same building?
it's with no, it's not.
Oh.
It's externally, but it's in Havertown, and
Oh,
literally
okay.
I can maybe hit a golf ball to his building.
Oh,
Maybe, yeah.
okay.
So it's
Really
close.
close. That's
Yes,
pretty cool.
yeah. I drive by it every day, and he's just a great. He's got a great system there, and got other businesses, and it's great.
So, now, you're in a forum or you were in a forum. Tell us about that, your forum.
So
Yeah.
yeah, from the time I got out of EOA, graduated, I was with a forum up until about 2 months ago,
Okay.
and it was great while it lasted. Yeah, there's people that were like-minded, and I saw people sold their business. Like, I didn't know anybody that sold their business. I didn't even know that you could do that. And so to watch that process unfold was amazing. People with personal issues at home or at business, it was just amazing to see people get vulnerable and look at solutions and to use
Mhm.
Forum 2.0, the process, and just to go through it. And it was great. Yeah, and just recently, about I think in December, I sent out the text to the guys. Hey guys, before we meet for the holiday dinners, want to let you know this is going to be my last meeting.
Mm.
And I didn't want to drop it off for the dinner, but I sent it out to them. And
What made you make that decision?
my I felt like it was getting being redundant,
Okay.
and I was saying the same thing. My issues were the same, and I'm not doing anything about it. And so it's just like, and so I talking to people outside of my forum, they're like, maybe it's time for you to switch it up. How long you been in the group? I was like, I think this is like year four. They're like, yeah, they say to switch it up between every 3 to 5 years.
Mhm.
And so I found that to be true. I'm a part of other groups, and I found that like I get a little bit um, get finicky after a couple of years. So I got to
Yeah.
switch it up. And
Yeah.
so um, I saw that, and I was just like, you know what? If I don't do this now, and I talked to the administrators before of EO, but like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, but it's like, let me fully step back and do this, and I did it, and it's been about 2 months out of that forum.
Okay. And you said your problems were the same. So tell me about that. Like, what happened there? Were you just your problems just weren't going away, or that you couldn't figure out how to change them, or what was?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That is, it might still. I'm in the midst of trying to acknowledge, accept, or change it, what there's, and then when that being finance, it's me. I'm a my personality is I'm an ENFP. I'm not great with numbers.
I don't remember what ENFP is.
Yes, I'm an extrovert,
Oh,
and
okay.
I do well with people.
Yeah.
I'm not a you can't put me in an office and like sit there for 8 hours. No,
Yeah.
I need to get up and go, shake hands and kiss babies.
Yeah.
I
I
just
think
like
I'm
to
an
get out and see my
ENFP
people.
too.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like seeing
Yeah.
people. I do have a capacity. I can't do it all day. I got
Yeah.
about 2 or 3 hour thing at a party. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. It's overwhelming. But
Okay.
I definitely love people. I love meeting. I love hearing. I love learning. Um, but that can be counterproductive in the business. Now, my business right now, we're just under 30 employees. We have two salesmen.
Decent size for an
Yeah,
electric
it's great.
company.
We've
Yeah.
grown every single year, and
Hmm.
it's great. We're having those growth problems. I just read this
Yeah.
book where it's called Simple Numbers.
Oh, yeah. I have that book at home. I
Yeah,
don't think I've read it though.
I just listened to it, and it was great. And the
Oh,
guy in the beginning is like, if your business is between 2 and 4 million, you're in what we call like the black hole. And I was like, yes, okay, I'm on the right path.
how do I get
And so,
out?
yeah, how do I get out? And that's what he talks about. And so,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
because that's where my issues are with numbers. And so I've had consultants and some guides. I have a leadership team
Great.
through taking on the EOS and our
Oh, are
number
you doing
two and three. Yeah,
EOS?
and have been for
Yeah.
years, and it's great.
Entrepreneur operating system for those
Yeah.
that are looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Traction.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Oh
great.
my gosh. We're on it too.
I
I
love
love
it.
it. Oh,
Yeah, it's
game
great.
changer for the business, right?
Yeah, our friends here are doing it right here. I can see it. It's great. So,
Oh,
um,
oh yeah. I didn't even notice that.
yeah, it's great. I love it. The core
Oh, it's a
focus, the
good
values,
idea.
and we use all that, man. Now we're getting distracted, but I'm looking at their core values and core focus. I love it.
So what we're looking at is in the studio we're in, they have um a EOS it's called a VTO, right?
Yep.
Which is stands for I can't think of it.
Yeah, the Vision Traction organizer.
Okay. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Right there.
Yeah. The one I love, there's so many of there's check it out. It's through Traction, but you can hire an EOS implementer, and there's plenty of them in the EO and
Oh, there sure
around.
is. Yeah.
The core values, and so
Yeah.
we do hire and fire from the core values. I love that.
Perfect. Yeah.
We did what they said. You take your top employees, what's great about them, what do you want to grow at, and then we hire and fire. And if we strayed from that, we've paid a price. But when we stay within that, like, hey, we're not going to hire this guy, or like we are going to hire this guy. We see a lot of promise. It's been great. So
Beautiful.
learning that, it's just, but me, my I have to work so hard at the numbers that it gets daunting, it gets overwhelming. So I need maybe like a fractional CFO is in my future, a consultant we've had,
Hmm.
likely maybe a full-time CFO eventually, or he might be with us already. I don't know. And
Yeah.
so that's what I've been struggling on for the past couple of years, that growth. My number two, Mike Birch, is awesome. He's a complete opposite of me. He is black and white, methodical, college educated, and so we are perfect yin and yang,
Perfect.
but we never disrespect each other, we never argue, but we don't necessarily speak the same language.
Mhm.
And
Nor
so
should you, right?
no,
Yeah.
no, and so, but I am the leader,
Right.
and I have to lead.
Visionary. You're the
Correct.
visionary, yeah.
Yeah, and so decisions have to be made. They wanna lead. We have a great leadership, and so there's gonna come a time where it's just like, I gotta make that decision,
Yeah.
with, uh clarity and confidence, and
Right.
I'm trying to take it on. I'm trying to listen to others, them, and so, but listen to that book, it's like, okay, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I just need to learn to be patient with it. And so that's where I struggled with that for a long time. It's like I'm saying the same thing, and and my forum gave me great feedback. They're like, you need this. They're, in Wish Gestalt, they give me many suggestions, consultants, um, but I felt it's run its course for that point.
Okay.
So, and
So
it's
you're
not just
out
that.
of it. And
Yeah.
now you were telling me a little bit about what you're pursuing next, which I think is brilliant.
So it's a couple different things, and
Okay.
so I am still thinking about getting on with another forum for a fresh look.
Mm-hmm.
I am also thinking about taking a step back
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just taking time to, you know, learn this instead, or apply this instead of just learning it. And maybe let my leaders do some work too to help me understand it. There's also looking for some industry specific. I'm in the trades, I'm electrical. There's something to be said about finding, like again with Kevin Nolan. He's been great. He's in the painting and consumer direct. I do construction, some contract work, subcontracting. So there's cash flow differences, there's accounts payable differences from him. So I can't necessarily follow his exact steps because I'm choosing differently to work with
Sure.
contractors.
Right.
And so there's through EO Connect, the app, there's a contractor group, and so I connected with them, and so they meet monthly, and they're talking about putting in an electrical contractor group, a monthly forum group, and that's just happening right now. And
Perfect.
I've connected
Yeah.
with some of the leaders. There's a guy out in Seattle, Washington. He's an electrical contractor. He's a couple years ahead of me. He has 70 employees. Got this beautiful presentation online, and we talked, and we speak the same language. So here's a guy who's a little over double the size of me, been doing it a little bit longer. We have a little different lifestyle, but there's I can learn off that guy, and I
Right.
can give to that guy, and so that's something that's like, wow, EOS has given me an avenue to look at. So that's what's happening right now. There's also a possibility I want to take a step back and step out for a year or two. I don't know, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry for learning for sure.
Yeah. 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 So the idea of you've left a form it wasn't working for anymore. It happens.
Mm.
And now maybe getting in with these other electricians. So a different take on it being with peer groups, but being able to support each other in that you have very similar problems that could
Correct.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've even connected with, like, some guy in Pittsburgh a couple months ago, and we have similar businesses, same
Yeah.
size, and he's like, "Man, I'll tell you everything." I was like, "I will too." We're talking how much you charge for an hour, what's your day-to-day look like? He's like, "I have no problem," and
Right. What do you care?
so
You're not
yeah,
you're not in
he's in
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's something that we wanna reconnect on, but it's just like, man, this feels so much better because I wish, like, I had the, business acumen or the education to do that, but I don't. That does not mean I can't succeed. That's
Of
just
course.
ridiculous because it's
Yeah.
just I already have succeeded. I just want more. Like, I have a relentless pursuit to be, um,
You wanna grow your business a
success.
little bigger, or
I
what would you
do. I
like?
I
Yeah.
do like that.
Mhm.
I love it, and my leaders, Mike and Holly, are the same mindset, and my teams do as well. It's just they like it. I'm extremely competitive. I
Okay.
don't mind losing here and there,
Sure.
but I really like winning.
Yeah.
And but that doesn't mean it doesn't take over my life. I got two small kids. I have a
Yeah.
girlfriend. I
Great.
like to golf. I like to do jujitsu. I like to go to the gym. So I definitely believe in mind, body, and spirit. And it is not just business. I do not work 12-hour days. I do not work 10-hour days. A lot of times I don't work 8-hour days.
Good for
I
you.
rather work
Yeah.
on my mind, body, and spirit. And so
Mhm.
where my financials might um, suffer from that, from not putting in those extra 10, 14-hour work weeks, um, my lifestyle is great.
Well, if you're
I'm
doing it
able to
right, if you're following the EOS guidelines, you should be able to work less and less and just hire on other people to take on those
and that's what
responsibilities, right?
I've manipulated that a little bit to, like, the fault of me, and so we've been on EOS for about 4 years. I'm looking up because 'cause I'm looking at this board for
Oh,
EOS,
right.
but,
EOS is great.
I've kinda used that, like, I've grown my business, and I was like, "Okay, these people are in place. I don't necessarily have to do that anymore."
Right.
That's not always the case. Like, I'm realizing now and have before, it's just like, yeah, some of these people need help. They want my attention. They want me to come to the job and see how they're doing and give them a pat on the back. And so, and I like
Nice.
doing that. And
Yeah.
so, I try to keep an open door to my team, whoever it is. They say I'm a little bit intimidating. I don't know why. I think I'm very approachable, but I want them to be able to tell me like, "Hey, man, we need more from you," and they have. You know, we had
Yeah.
a in-office leadership meeting today. The guys out in the field are fine, but we talked to the salesman, field manager, estimator, and my 1 and 2, and we just talked about some changes that were just happening. But it's also, I asked them, "Are you getting the help you need from me?" And I actually had Holly ask them, so they weren't intimidated by the question I had. And they were like, "No, we are. We're definitely getting it, and just want to make sure, and we could have some help here because." Yes, these books and these educations say, "Yes, grow this, do this," but it's also, sometimes you gotta put that sweat equity in.
Is that what's worked for you? Like, what do you think's worked for you the best to make you grow your business?
Oh my god,
I
that's
mean, to
such a
get
good
to 30
question.
is a big deal, I think, in your world, right?
I don't know, that gets me, like, emotional thinking about it, how
Does
to
it?
get yeah, because it's, like, how I sometimes, like, I struggle with, like, stop and smell the roses, like, I tell my guys I
Sure.
love them. "You guys do so great for me," like, I went through a divorce here where I could barely work a day, and
Yeah,
my
it's
leadership was
tough.
like, "You go do what you gotta do," and I had a great divorce. It was not
Oh,
bad at all,
okay.
but it was just that I
It's
had
too
2 small kids.
emotional.
He had a
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
So, it was, but my team held me up, and they're like, "You go do what you gotta do." They support me 100%. And so, man, I think it's about, just doing the right thing. And, I will bring this in, man. I'm in a 12-step program. And
Okay.
and that 12-step program has like three core principles of honesty, integrity, and God, what is the other one? Like vulnerability or something. I use those core tenets to build the business. And I'm extremely vulnerable with my team. I'm honest with them. And I show them. And it's just like, and I'm also very appreciative. I guess it's that what has gotten me there because I don't know. It's very hard
Mhm.
to do this, and sometimes, yeah, I look back and I'm like, "Do I wanna do this?" It's like, "What else would I wanna do? I have a great life. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?"
Right.
I definitely suffer from perfectionism, but
Yeah.
I absolutely, love what,
Mm.
has become of my company.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've done an amazing job. I
Thank you.
mean, 30 employees. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm not the expert, but I use a lot of vendors, and when I see something like 30, I know they're doing something right because you can't build that.
It's wild.
Right,
Yeah.
because people can go out on their own or whatever. Like, you can't build that without having something good and some good leadership behind. And it sounds
Thank you.
like you're very committed to learning. You got EOS going. You got a lot of good things. You're seeking solutions when there isn't one instead of just going with the flow. So, sounds like you're doing all the right things.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, be interested to see where you keep going, Brad. Thank you so much for coming in. I think this has been really interesting to learn about you, and I think other people listening will gain a lot from what you had to say today. I
This
really
has been
believe
great.
that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you,
was
Brad.
awesome.